Good morning everyone. I had a bit of a break from putting some phones up, and as I promised you, I was expecting a phone through eBay which originated in Belgium, and it has arrived. Done this one a bit differently. It doesn't need work done on it because it's in very good condition. The only little, it's not a problem, a little bit of the plastic came away, which I've got, so that is just a case of it's in there, piece of plastic, which is not a problem. A bit of good old Araldite, and that'll be as good as new. Once again, a good sender of the phone, no problems whatsoever. I must admit I had no idea what this model was going to be. All I had on the thing was RTT6N, which I couldn't find anywhere. Even another collector had up on his little display of phones. He had a couple of Belgian phones up, but neither appears to be this model, which I'm rather pleased because it strikes me as being, well, it is because the date's inside, fairly old. Let's have a little bit of close-up. As I say, excuse any dirt. You expect this. It's an old phone. There's going to be a little bit of dirt on there, but it's going to be quite enjoyable to actually clean it up. Shouldn't be too difficult. It's in very good nick. This is, we're looking at the dial, and once again note where the finger stop is and the O. There's a little gap there, which tells me it's an automatic dial, or a dial based on the automatic company, who, as I said the other day, was used on ATM phones in England, non-post office ones, quickly to add, because the post office ones used the old trigger dial, or previous to that, slipping cam type dial. Anyway, let's show you what's on that. This is the typical innards that you would see on an automatic dial. You've got, if I can point to it, you've got your pulsing springs, the cam, if you like, that turns around, your regulator, and on this side you've got your off normals. These are fully working okay. Alright, it's going to need a little bit of oil, bit of clock oil, and it should do fine. Now, interesting to note, the date on here is 65, J65. There's no manufacturer of this, but I would think, as the Belgian phones were either made by Bell or automatic, and from this dial I would say this was one by automatic. So that's the dial. Once again, it's in good nick. Does need a bit of a clean, but that's no problem. That's half the fun, getting them cleaned up and doing any little repair jobs. In this case, a very, very minor job. Whether this happened in the post, I don't know. It was well packed. It was really well packed, and the sender was first class. Hopefully we'll have a look at this little video. I don't know, he says it came from an antique centre in Belgium. Well, the one I know in Belgium is a very, very good one. I haven't been there for a few years now, and this is at the area called place of ball games. It's like a square, large square. In Brussels, in the area called Midi, your railway station's quite close by. Anyhow, that is perhaps one of the finest junk markets, flea markets, boot sale, antiques market. Those names cover them all because there was all sorts of stuff. Whether this came from there, I don't know. But it's the kind of item that could have come from here. Now then, I'll show you the transmitter, which is also similar to the friend's one on his little video. We've got the name there. You've got TMC now, telephone manufacturing company? I don't think so. TMC was actually a company in England which I believe was bought out by Pi and then by Philips. And as this says, made in Belgium. This incidentally is the same style of transmitter as the Americans use. Very similar. Got another one somewhere as it's on the side. This is another one. This is one that I modified, but it's not from this phone. So that's your transmitter. Did I say there's a date on there? Yeah, there's a date on there. So this is dated 73. So we've got the dial, which is dated 65. We've got the transmitter dated 73. Anyhow, transmitters do go, they go noisy, so it's likely these are changed, not on a regular basis, but they're changed. Also, I will show you the receiver. There's the back of the receiver. Which is on two typical contacts or slide-on contacts, which appears to be what was used in Belgium. And there's the other side. It's got a little ring that holds it in. So that plastic rings round the outside. And that is the receiver. The end caps. The receiver itself's got no writing on it. All in good condition. Even the cord. The cord to the phone itself is first class. It's not stretched out or anything, which leaves me to think that this phone probably didn't see all that much usage. The base is separate from the phone, and it is arranged that the chassis, if you like, is held on to the base. As I said, that was the one part that did get broken, but it is repairable and shouldn't be a problem. It's surprising what you can do with a little bit of araldite, and it doesn't show there. It's not as if it's broken or any damage to the case. In fact, the case is in excellent condition. Well, I've got that case in my hand. We've also got a little diagram. There's the diagram. It's got YARTT under the post. Also got GAM ST141. There's your diagram. The induction coil is shown as a resistive coil, which is a bit confusing. I thought, well, where's the induction coil? But it's there. That part we're looking at with resistors is in fact the induction coil. All the other symbols are the typical symbols that you would find on a phone anywhere around the world. And I think A and B are the input from the line, so you've got A and B. Sometimes called L1 and L2, or even tip and ring, depending what country you're in. Now let's have a little look at the chassis itself. Got to do this carefully. Now this is the side which would face onto there, so that would turn over and face on there. You've got your bell coils, which are 500 ohms a piece, giving you 1000 ohms. Nicely laid out. The bell is nicely adjusted. It doesn't appear to have an adjuster to make it loud or soft, which is not a problem. Your two gongs of two types. There are always two types on the gongs. That's to give you a nice melodious ring. You've got your cradle springs there, very strong ones, and also down the side a date, 1956. 1956B. I don't know what B means, whether it refers to the maker. Could do. So it was made in 1956. That was quite a while ago. I was at that time 56. I know I was at school then, enjoying having to leave school soon at that time. 56 was the date of Heinz used to use on their adverts. Enjoy 1957 with Heinz 57 varieties. Well, this is a year before then. This is 56. So it's fairly old and it's well made. Still don't know the model. It's not one that I know. So if anyone is out there, if the person I referred to in America's got a very good selection of phones, if he knows anything about this. I don't know if this one's even on the Rotary Phones forum. It probably is. But anyhow, I drift off into talking. Turn him over. And the mystery still goes on. Oh no, it doesn't. There's a capacitor there which is dated 57, so that would follow to be the same age as the frame. Beautifully made. This part is made of metal. Your induction coil, or the anti-side tone coil. You've got a little resistor at the side there. It was the same value as the one I showed on that other phone. I know I did mention the way to remember how the colour codes go, which I won't go into, because I said it's a little bit non-PC, I think you would say now. That is definitely one way to remember certain things. It's like the colours of the rainbow, which is a little bit cleaner. It's real. Oh God, I can't even think what it was now. The Duke. I've forgotten it. Don't worry. It's about the Duke of York and that. So yeah, that gives you the remembers of things, reminders. You've got a little button there that operates the cradle springs, and it's also got, but is not used in this case, a little lever there which would, if it was installed in this phone, but it isn't, is the earth button. Anyhow, that is about all I've got to say on this phone. Once again, well made. Let's have a look at the side of that capacitor. There's your 1 microfarad capacitor. A little bit bigger than what they are now. All in all, a well-made phone, sent through the post without any problems, well packed, and I'll say it again, I feel like a dog with two tails. A very good phone, another one to the collection. All I can say is sorry that it's in a bit of a dirty state, but I only just received it, and I thought I want to put it up so you can have a little look at it. And in the meantime, I will sit down and slowly give it a bit of a clean up. Well, that's after I've glued the little piece of plastic back and let that go off. So, once again, oh, let me show you before I go. This was the extremely long lead which was on there. I think someone had added this. It's got the two little spade type contacts, which is nice because that means I can connect a new cord directly onto those, solder those on, and they'll go into connect in, which is on the back there. Plug that they use in Belgium is very similar to the plug they use in Holland. It's slightly different though. It is subtly different. But there's the plug. No, there's nothing on there. Yes, there is. That little trademark there, which I've recognised on other Belgian phones. That's like their trademark. The lead itself has been extended. I don't even think it is telephone wire. It just looks like the normal figure of 8 electric cord. Someone's had a bit of a go at joining it up. A bit amateurish done a long time ago. Obviously done the job. So I shall be changing that. Anyhow, I'm going to shut up now. And thank you all again for putting up for my long talks. Oh, just a quickie before I go. I'd had correspondence. I know I put a YouTube up yesterday. Nothing to do with phones. This was about my feed-in tariff on the electrical energy and that. They've got back to me and it looks like something might be taking place and doing. So once again, I'm going to shut up. I haven't put a picture of the phone up like I normally do. Just suffice to say, find all the bits that are on the actual video itself. Anyhow, I'm going to shut up and thank you again. Thank you.